Hey everyone, Scott here. It's been quite a long time since I've done a video. Part of that is, Aperture hasn't changed all that much in several months. And another part of that is I've been busy with non-photography things. I know, shame on me. But I have discovered a few little random tips over the last few months, and so I thought I'd put those all together in a short video for you today. Hope you like it. So here I've got a couple of stacks of images. This stack happens to have all of the images geotagged, and then this stack does not. What I'd been doing previously is a lot of times I'd drag one image onto the map using the places, and then copy and paste them to all of the other images I have. And half the time I work with the stacks closed because I'm really just looking at my most important or my stack pick. If I do the lift, as I've been doing this method, lift metadata, deselect everything except the GPS, and stamp the selected image. Now, of course, that's only going to stamp the selected image. This one here. The rest that are in my stack aren't done. What I found out, let me clear that location. What I found out is that when you're in places and you take a stack and you drag the stack onto the map. I just do this here, pretty close. Say done. It does it for the entire stack. So now you can see all of these images have been tagged. You can see with the place icon. So if you happen to be working with stacks, and my workflow, I've done keywording, I've done rating, I've done stacking before I get to locations. If my stacks are collapsed, I'm now going to be more in the habit of dragging my stacks onto the map as opposed to doing just an individual one and then lifting metadata and stamping it. So if you've watched my workflow videos before, this will look familiar. When I do my keywording, I have my info pane up, the pictures I'm interested in, and I've got my keyboard buttons on the bottom. And I'll park my cursor in here and I'll start typing to do all of my various keywording. This one I've already done. You can see 35mm negative, and that pops up. Something I noticed from the keyboard that I can do is, for example, I knew this picture was in China, and you'll see that I have this small triangle here. If I press, if I highlight that, I'm using the keyboard. If I highlight that and I press my right arrow, it'll expand that for me. And this will work multiple levels. So I could select, if I wasn't sure, did I have subsections within Beijing, maybe one for Great Wall. In this case, I didn't. But for when you get to a point where you've got a lot of keywords, using these arrow keys can really help out. So again, if I press the left arrow, it'll collapse it, right arrow expand it, just like you'd expect it to work. And one more little speed up, anytime I can save myself reaching for the mouse, is 1 or 2 seconds I save every step of my workflow. So that's good. Here's one I've touched on in the past. I did a blog about this, must be a year ago now. Using skin smoothing but without the skin. In that particular instance, I was using the skin smoothing on a beach scene and using it specifically on the sand because it was similar to a skin tone. In this case here, I found that just using skin smoothing, complete blanket coverage for noise reduction was really effective. So this is a 35mm scan. I actually scanned it 5 different times, over and under compensating the exposure, blending it together, making HDR. But the fact that it's a 35mm negative and I'm scanning it with not, necessarily the top-notch equipment, I'm getting a lot of noise. I've already done quite a bit of noise reduction on this, but with just a simple application of the skin smoothing tool, it gets even better. So let's take a quick peek here. If I pop into skin smoothing, and I've got, about 70% or so, apply that everywhere, you can see that the blues and the greens of this foresty area here around the Great Wall have really smoothed out. Let me toggle that on and off. You can see here it is without the skin smoothing. Here it is with the skin smoothing. And if I zoom in at 100%, let me just pick this building here, I'm really not sacrificing too much at all on the structures itself, particularly the parts of the image that I want to have very sharp. So again, I'll turn it off. We can see there's some, particularly around the edges, probably meaning my my masking is not as good as it should be right now. Turn it back on, and I lose a little bit, particularly in the shadows of this ridge of the building. But otherwise, it's a really nice overall feel to it. So for this particular photo and this my level of photography, this is great. A very quick thing to do, really eliminated a lot of the noise, and really happy with the result. So don't be afraid to try out different tools, and they may give you a result that you're after, even if it's not what they were originally designed for.